Welcome, Mike.
Let's start again.
Welcome, Michael.
Good morning,
Hey, everybody.
I thought Michael was already in here because I see
Michael is our
everything else.
newest productivity coaching client, student, partner. So welcome, sir. Would you like to introduce yourself very quickly?
Hey, everybody. I've got joined Keller Williams about 2 months ago, and before then, been in the sort of imaging business industry, doing 3D modeling and a lot of work like that for the wireless industry. But also, during that, did a lot of help with leasing and purchasing of property for like cell towers and things like that. So been around the sort of tiptoeing around the real estate industry for a long time. Both my parents were real estate agents up in Baltimore, and just something that I've been wanting to do, and made the switch, sort of during the COVID thing, and now I'm really excited to have Bill help me really get the things going.
Beautiful. Well, the good news is it's not just me that's going to be helping you. It's first of all, everyone at the Market Center, the leadership team at the Market Center, the Agent Leadership Council, and particularly this group right here. This is a group of people that we've been building a culture, I'd like to say, in here for a number of months. And the goal with our culture, quite frankly, is look, this is a tough business, right? We don't want to go at it alone. It's not as much fun alone. And we're encountering many of the same things day after day after day. So, and this goes for everybody. I want to be as supportive as possible to each other, right? And if you need help today, there's going to be a chance. There's going to be a time, probably very, very soon that somebody else might need help. And we want to do our best to be aware of that and to give our time and our energy, because people are going to give their time and their energy back to you.
Yeah, I tell you, I've been so thankful for all of the support that I've gotten through the Market Center. I've been taking the Ignite class and all the other classes. I try to get on these Zoom meetings all the time, and still just after doing it for 2 months, I really feel like I still have so many questions. I still really feel like I need some guidance, and that's really why I stepped up with this group today.
Beautiful. Well, it's a pleasure to have you, sir. Michael, as with everyone else, of course, is in the WhatsApp group. So I appreciate everyone's support of each other. Thank you so much. Welcome, sir. Let me share my screen with you guys just 1 second to show you something. So yesterday we talked briefly about the bold, some of the bold files. They have been creating something called the bold toolbox. Okay, bold toolbox. And I'm trying to put some of those materials in actually, I'll probably rename this and call it bold toolbox. Right now I've got it called bold files. Rename. And yesterday I promised that I would update this. And let me show you what is in there now. This is in the Just PC file. We have the 40 contact page, the blank schedule, some for sale by owner scripts, some for sale by owner and expired objection handlers, and the listing presentation. And I'll go back in and upload some additional things that are in the bold toolbox into this file. And this is, again, of course, in the Just PC file. So please familiarize yourself with that, as well as everything else that is in the toolbox. Okay. The listing presentation is the bold classic listing presentation with a little bit of variation for the fact that it's a seller's market, because bold was really written during a really, really strong buyer's market. Okay. Okay. Who has some good news they want to share? Andrew, hold off. I'm going to give you an extra spotlight today. Okay. Who wants to share some good news? Come on, come on.
I'll share some fun news.
All right.
I mean, it's not really news, but yesterday I worked really hard in the morning, and a little after 12, my husband and I took off to Dawsonville because we're redneck NASCAR fans, and spent the day up there eating, shopping, visiting with people, and waiting for the parade of Chase Elliott coming by. So it was fun. And because my sister said, I wish I had a job that allowed me the ability to put stuff down and go have fun in the middle of the afternoon. And that is one of the reasons real estate is so much fun. Get your work done and go have fun.
Right. Sometimes we have, we don't really understand how lucky we are, I believe sometimes, but a lot of times actually, right? We have the ability to work when we want, with who we want, where we want, right? And all we got to do is just knock out the things every single day we know we have to do to stay on track. And then the world is ours. We can do whatever we want. Good morning, Tina. Right? We can do whatever we want. One of the things, I've said this a couple of times, but we got a couple of new faces in today, so I'll say it in front of everyone else, is one thing that as I was building my business, one of the things that I struggled with a lot, and it took me a while, definitely didn't happen until I got to KW, but it took me a while to really hone in on this, and by the way, this is why I kind of push this a lot in our one-on-ones, is knowing what work is, right? If you don't know what work is, then it's hard to deal with this balance thing, right? Because every time you're working, you're feeling bad that you're working and you're not with your family or doing your hobbies or whatever else is important to you. And therefore you are below your potential when you're working. And when you're not working, right, you're saying to yourself, gosh, should I send that one more email? Should I follow up with that guy one more time? Right? And you're never at peace when you're not working either. The only way that I was able to get peace working and peace not working was to know exactly what work was. When I contacted a certain number of people a day, when I went on a certain number of appointments a week, when I knew I was on track, I was a lot more able and willing and at peace when I would have, dinner with my kids or taking a day off in the middle of the week or something like that. But if I knew I was off track, then it felt terrible to do that with my family, and for so many different ways, for so many different reasons. So that's why I push probably harder than most of you want me to on the metrics, because that is ultimately the sign of whether you're on track or not. And I want you guys, I mean, you're probably not going to hear any voice louder than mine in the Market Center about quality of life talk, right? And life by design talk. So, all right, very cool. Who else wants to share a piece of good news? And we'll jump right into some role play.
Hey, Bill, I'd like to share.
All right, go ahead.
I went to the dentist yesterday, and I was having a conversation with the X-ray tech, and she's looking for a home. She's been living with her mom for like 3 years, so I made a really good connection there. So that was pretty cool.
Love it. Love it. It's like if you just ask people what's going on in their life, they're going to ask you. And the life of the party is the real estate agent. Everyone wants to talk to the real estate agent. Everyone wants to know a market statistic. Everyone wants to know what their home might be worth or whether they can afford to buy, right? Beautiful. Great job. We're always, and it's not even work. You're just being friendly and asking questions, right? All right. One more thing. Andrew, do you mind sharing about your day yesterday? Say it a little louder. Can't hear you. Come in here and talk. Come in here.
While we're waiting, Tawantis, could you mute your phone? I think we're hearing some of the noise.
Oh, do you hear that? I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Whoa, so this is what Bill's computer looks like. It's like you're in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, yeah, so I came into the office yesterday. I was kind of struggling because I had some deals that fell through, and it was kind of starting to make me just, I don't know, it was just kind of getting hard for a while. So he introduced me yesterday to Paul Tully, and we pretty much, he has this program. It's called Mojo, and it calls like 3 people at a time, and it's it's constantly, it's like call after call after call, and it's got these scripts, and it sounds really scary, and it is a little bit at first, but you can tell that obviously the results pay off, because you end up getting business. It might take 100 calls, but you can get through 100 calls in like an hour or 2 hours or something.
Yeah.
But so I signed up for it yesterday, because and not only that, I realized that it's a good way to quickly get a lot of real estate experience, and knowing what to say back and forth in a conversation with somebody that you don't know, which is scary at first, and you're breaking that fear barrier. So that's why I signed up for it, and that's what we're doing today.
Beautiful. And
That's
here
awesome.
with the KW background in the other room, you just got to
Yeah.
talk about your sound.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with it.
So don't forget, guys. Thank you. Don't forget.
I was in
guys,
the office
we
while
have,
he's going back, and Bill's sitting down. I was in the office the other day, and Tawantis was in Paul's office. She had been working with him. And I'll tell you, I looked through the door, and the energy in her body and the smile on her face was incredible.
Yeah.
So he's got it.
So
Thank
Paul,
you,
Paul
Kathy.
loves helping. Twantis, did you want to add something?
Oh, I was just saying thank you, Kathy. And just to add with Andrew, for anybody else who might even want to start just getting that same, getting on that same vein that what we're doing, like I'm almost to the office now. So for anybody that can come, we're just trying to like really get into the habit of our lead generation and come in the office and make the calls and get the business that we're all looking for. So just wanted to make sure everyone know that is available for anybody, especially us. It's really good energy. We already are literally like building it up. You can see it right now already. So it's
Absolutely.
great.
So a couple things on that. Number one is we are starting to let some people into the big room. We've been trying to keep that around like 8 to 10 people at the most. And then of course you have access to the other parts of the office as well. So if you want to take the morning call from a corner in the office, please feel free to do so. You have obviously my permission to do that. And then stick around to make the calls. We don't schedule anything between 9 and 11 for that exact reason, so that so that you can have that time earmarked for lead gen. The other thing is, don't forget, guys, that we also have access to Cole Resource Realty. Cole Resource Realty is a great source for circle prospecting. Circle prospecting is basically calling neighbors, and you can let them know that an open house is coming, or that you just took a new listing, or a listing went under contract, or a listing just closed. And there's, of course, scripts for all those conversations. You can pop those lists into Mojo and single line dial or triple line dial those people as well. And really, you're just saying the same thing over and over. But like Andrew said, you just get more at bats, right? And there was a comment in Bold the other day where they said, like, if you're gonna, I think the guy said that he went on 5 listing appointments, didn't get any of the listings, and he got his 6th listing, or the 6th time he went on an appointment, he got the listing. Then like 7 and 8 he didn't get, 9 he got, like 10 he didn't get, 11 and 12 he got, like that. And he says, rather than taking 5 months to get 5 listing appointments, he just did it in 3 weeks. He just sped it all up so he could win faster and lose faster and learn faster and just make more progress. You see what I'm saying? Remember, with Cole, all you got to do is send me the property address, and I will send you, or my assistant will send you, the 1,500 homes that, or 1,500 names and numbers of the people that live closest to that address. So you don't necessarily have to buy the data that Mojo sells or any of these other companies sell. We get it for free as a part of productivity coaching. Same thing with Vulcan 7. So you can log on to the vulcan7.com website. You can extract the data. You can download it into what's called a CSV file, comma separated value file, and then upload it into a dialer system like Mojo and just kill that one too. So the triple line dialer, just so you know, It basically dials 3 numbers at once. And the first person to pick up is the one that you get connected with. Okay, if one of the other ones picks up like right away, it can get a pre-recorded message that might sound something like, hello? Can you hear me? I think we have a bad connection. I'll call you right back. And then they go back into the pod, and then they get dialed right after you get off the phone with them. Right. And you can also pre-record voicemail drops. So you're basically, the machine is leaving a voicemail while you're already on the phone with the next guy. It's just a huge time saver. Huge time saver. So instead of making, let's say, 50 dials a day, you could literally make a couple of 100 dials a day. Okay. All right. And there's always, best practices and user groups and all that kind of stuff online where you can, interact with people that are doing the same thing every day and get tips and strategies and support one another. Was there a question?
You can make about 300 dials per hour with a triple line dialer.
Yeah. 300 dials. I truthfully, I never did the triple line. I always did the single line. And I was able to make, you're right, about 100 dials an hour with a single line dialer. And I would have in the neighborhood of around 10 to 12 contacts per hour. Cool.
How much does that cost, the Mojo?
I believe a single line dialer, Andrew, you might know this. I think a single line dialer is $99, and I think a triple line dialer is like $129 or $139 per month.
Yeah, that's what it is. The single line is $99, but I think the one or the 3 line, I think it's $140 something is what I pay, but I might pay a little bit more because I added like an extra thing for $5, but it's right around there.
$150.
Yeah.
And I am saying this on YouTube, I suppose, but nothing would stop you from necessarily sharing it with somebody. Like somebody takes, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings and Tuesday and Thursday afternoons, and then somebody else does the off shifts. You just have to label your list properly.
You have to, how to do that is you can each, you split the cost of the initial $150. Let's say 3 people wanted to do it. And then you add 2 more licenses. So now you have license for 3 people at 10, you pay $10 per license. So
that allows you to actually make the calls at the same time then?
No,
Okay.
You can only use the dialer at, one at a time, but then you can split up your time. So, Andrew gets, from 8 to 10, Jan gets from 10 to 12, and Twantis gets from 12 to 2.
Cool.
But that's a way of alleviating some of that cost because it is quite pricey, especially if you don't use it, guys. Hint, hint, Jan.
Yeah, it works if you work, and it doesn't work if you don't work. Just like every piece of technology, just like every shiny object that they try to sell to real estate agents, every one of them. They say, if you want to make a product, make a product for realtors because they'll buy anything. All right, guys. Who wants to be the very first person to volunteer to do some circle process or some script work, some role play? Do I see any hands? Do I see any hands? Mary, that almost kind of looks like a hand. No, okay.
I will.
All right, Pam, beautiful. Pam, what would you like to work on today?
Well, we've talked about circle prospecting this morning, so let's do that.
Okay, cool. Would you like to be the agent and I will be somebody in the marketplace that you happen to be calling?
Well, I'd like it to be reverse. I want to hear your script. So.
You guys, this is script practice for you.
Well, but I want to make sure I have a script down. So
okay.
I've got a listing coming up in a neighborhood, in a large neighborhood. So I
take off my coat for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Get comfortable.
Okay, so I've got a listing coming up in the neighborhood, and tell me more.
It's a neighborhood of about 750 homes. It's, pretty highly desired neighborhood. And this house has, it's been well updated and added on to, but it doesn't look like an addition. It blends into the home very, very well. So what else should I say about it? I mean, it's in a great school district. It's, I don't know what else to say about the house.
Okay.
But
Yeah, the truth of the matter is I'm not going to go into a ton of detail about the specific house. I'll probably just invite you to an open house that we'll be hosting. Would that work?
yes, that would work.
Okay. Ring ring.
Hello?
Hello, Pam.
Yes?
Hey, Pam, this is Bill Linkwald. I'm with Keller Williams in Roswell. How are you today?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. I'll just be really quick with you. I don't know if you saw the sign, but we just listed 123 Hill Street right around the corner from you. It's a 5-bedroom home with a full finished basement. Did you happen to see the sign go up?
No, I didn't. That's on the other side of the neighborhood from me.
Okay. Okay, that's right. Yeah, it's a big neighborhood, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Well, I wanted to, I'm reaching out to some of the neighbors today to invite them to an open house that we're going to be hosting. It's going to be this Sunday from 2 to 4, but we're doing a little neighborhood or private neighborhood showing for just for the neighbors from 1 to 2. And I wanted to invite you. Again, it's 123 Hill Street. We're going to have some home-baked chocolate chip cookies and some coffee there. Would you like to stop by?
I might.
Okay, perfect. Well, I got you on the phone. Have you or your family thought about making a move? We have so little inventory now. Actually, the stats say that we have about 1.5 months of supply. It's a super strong seller's market, and we're probably going to get a lot of activity on this property. And there's probably going to be more buyers in the market for this home than there are homes. So, have you or your family thought about moving anytime recently?
We have thought about it, but our problem is what you mentioned about it being a strong buyer's market. We just don't know where we would move to.
Okay. So do you not know where you would move, or you're worried about finding a particular house?
I'm worried about finding a particular house.
Okay. Well, if you were to sell your home, where would you want to move to?
We want to stay in the area. We love the area, and we'd want to stay in the area, but we'd be interested in something with a master on Main or a, ranch or something. And there just aren't that many of those in this area.
Gotcha. So master on the Main is important, or just a single family or single level ranch. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. What about school districts? Is it important that you stay in the same school district ultimately?
No, it's not. Our kids are grown.
Okay. And in a perfect world, do you have kind of a time frame on that move?
No, we're kind of open to when we find the right thing. We'd sure love to take advantage of, of this seller's market, but finding that house is we've kind of looked a little bit here off and on, but nothing serious.
Okay. And if I were to, I'm on the phone all day with sellers looking for buyers and buyers looking for sellers. If I were to become aware of a property that similar to what you're describing, and you fell in love, is it something you could take action on pretty quickly? Because like we said, we could probably sell the home relatively quickly.
Yeah, we could.
Okay, beautiful. So let me ask you, when you think of real estate, who do you trust?
Well, I have a couple of friends in the business who are active in this area, so I would probably go with one of them.
Okay.
I'd probably have to put their names in a hat and draw a name.
I see. Okay, so you're probably going to upset a couple of people no matter what, huh?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I could probably come up with a pretty good solution for that, right?
What would that be?
Well, you just choose to work with me, and then I can call all those people and tell them that we chose to work together, right?
Maybe, yeah. That I would have to think about that.
No, I just wanted you to laugh. So let me ask you this, Pam. I'd love to meet with you. Just so when you find something, or I find something, or one of your friends finds something, You have just one more person that you could reach out to ask some questions. We work with, literally 10, 20, 30 different local vendors that could assist during the search and any renovations or any of that kind of thing. I'd be happy to share a list with you. Hopefully you can stop by around 1 o'clock or maybe 1:30 on Sunday. I'd love a chance just to put a name to a face. Would that be okay?
Yeah, we've got kind of tentative plans, but I'll see if those don't work out or the timing works so I can make it to the open house. I'll do that.
Okay, beautiful, beautiful. Well, if you stay in touch with me and you miss it, then maybe I'll bring you a chocolate chip cookie on my way home.
Okay. All right.
I look forward to seeing you, Pam. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so what I probably would have done there is, there's no sense in having an appointment on the telephone, right? I just want to be friendly, create enough value for her to show up at the open house. And it's especially that she has a few friends in the business. I just want to be a nice person and see if I can build the relationship. Now, if she comes to the open house, I don't know if she knows what she got herself into. Okay. What's going to end up happening from here is now she's going to be in the database for sure. Now I'm going to offer a piece of technology so that she can use my mobile app or get the neighborhood nurtures or something like that, so that she sees my name pop up all the time. What ultimately, people make decisions with a comparison mindset. Okay, but because what will happen is, I was speaking with somebody about this yesterday, I believe, where it's not that you have to justify your commission as being 3% necessarily. It's that you have to justify the 3% against what the other guy is offering, right? So it's not, do I deserve 3%? It's, do I deserve an extra 0.5% than the guy who's trying to cut his commission? Or can I introduce some concerns into that conversation that may make you question why that man or woman decided to lower their commission? So it's the same kind of thing here. If they see that I am communicating with them better than their friends, I'm not telling them to drop their friends. I'm not asking them to sign a contract right now. I've identified the fact that this woman does own a home, does have a potential desire to own a different home, and already is feeling uneasy about this whole selecting a realtor thing. So as far as I can tell, I'm basically auditioning for the job until she makes a choice, right? So if I can impress her with better communication, better technology, better customer service between now and the time that she pulls the trigger, she may just, hire me and go and let all of her friends, like I once had my first cousin actually called me and like the other 2 friends that she has that are real estate agents, called all of them and said, I'm going to work with a stranger that came highly recommended so I don't have to hurt any of y'all's feelings. So don't assume that just because they, quote, have a friend in the business or their cousins in the business or something like that, that the opportunity is not there for you. Just be friendly, offer something of value that's particularly impressive to them or important to them, and just keep it up, right? Obviously, don't talk poorly about any of the other real estate agents. Get them to smile if you can, right? But the key the key is not to convince them to commit to you over the telephone when you just met 20 seconds earlier. The idea is to have a friendly conversation and get permission to continue to have a friendly conversation in the future. Any thoughts or comments or questions on that?
Yes, Bill, I have a question. What if you're speaking with a friend and you're talking about an upcoming opportunity that they might have, and they bring up the objection that it might not be the best idea to work with a friend as an agent because they're, I spoke with a friend who had already listed a home and I said, oh, that's too bad. I wish I had known about that. And she said, well, it's probably best not to go with a friend for an agent. So
that's what your friend said?
Yes. But I mean, this was right after I got my license. So I didn't even know about it because I hadn't talked with her for months. So
gosh, there's a lot in that question. Okay. The truth is I've probably lost a handful of friendships because of this business. The other truth is they probably weren't that great of friendships anyway. Okay. In part, I believe that we should be creating so much value and not taking our friendships for granted that it would be insane for them to choose not to work with us. In the other vein, there are many of my friends that I don't really want anything to do with their home buying or home selling process because they're a little crazy. Okay. So my life became a lot less stressful, and I got my feelings hurt a lot less when I just didn't care that much. You know, I wasn't a big fan of getting asked for help from somebody who went and used a different friend, right? And that caused a little bit of tension over time. You know, I would just ask a couple deeper questions, right? Tell me what's important about using that person, right? Are you choosing to use that person because you've determined that they're the most qualified partner in this process, or are you choosing to use that person because they're your friend? Right. And then they'll say, well, because they're their friend. Say, you know, do you have any concerns about that? Right. Because they may, you know, you could play both sides, right? You could say, well, gosh, they're going to know everything about your financial worlds, and gosh, you know, do you really want them to, you know, see you in your most stressed out moments? But I think that's a little underhanded, right? It's like, it's basically saying like, gosh, you know, what's most important to you about the process? Having your friend help you, or having the best qualified agent help you? That's kind of like the comment of like, well, this guy sells homes for 94% of list price, and I sell homes for 99.5% of list price. So you want to work with me, right? I'm going to net you the most money. So you could say, you know, outside of being the friend, did your friends share their stats with you? You know, are they, you know, are they outperforming the market by, you know, 4% like I am? Are you interested in meeting with other agents? Right? Are there any circumstances that you could see yourself not choosing to work with your friend? Are there
So,
you see what I'm saying?
yeah, but so, and I'm sorry if this was a misunderstanding, you know, if I didn't communicate this clearly, but her objection was working with a friend as opposed to just an agent, you know, who's really not in her circle of friends. And yeah, so, and this is a friend who wasn't, I mean, we've known each other from years back, but we kind of just lost, you know, frequent communication.
So if somebody has a issue about work, I mean, that's exactly the opposite discussion, which you're going to also encounter, right? People are going to say, well, I don't want to work with a friend because then you'll know all my financials, which truthfully isn't even the case, right? I'll know roughly what you make because I know what you're buying. You know, generally speaking, you make the price range of the home that you buy is in the neighborhood of around 3 times your annual income, right? So if you're buying a $300,000 home, I know roughly what you make. I mean, I know roughly what you make because I know what you do. And there's this thing called the internet. You know, how much does an IT specialist make? I can find out in half a second, right? How much does a school teacher make? I can find out in half a second. Like there's no secrets anymore, right? I've also had that happen where somebody said, well, Bill, you're a really nice guy. I love being your mother, but I'm not going to use my son to be a real estate agent. That's not happened with my mom, thank God, not yet. However, it has happened with cousins. It has happened with brother-in-laws. It has happened with very good friends, right? And I would probably go the alternative route and say, hey, if you're going to go out into the public and just find a total stranger, there's a really good chance that you could end up with a mediocre agent. So I totally get it if you don't want to work with me. I can respect that, even though I'm like dying inside, okay? But would it be okay if I introduced you to one of my favorite agents in town? And that guy, I know for a fact that person will take care of you. They will be super patient. They will come with a teaching attitude, with an educational approach. They will handle all of your stresses. They will negotiate incredibly on your behalf. I'd love to make that introduction. Would you, if you're not going to interview me, would you do me the favor of interviewing somebody that I connect you with just to make sure that your best interests are handled properly?
That's
Okay.
great because that communicates you're still providing a service or some support, and then you're also building a connection with another agent. Yeah.
Right. So like I used to, I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I'm real friendly with this guy named Lee who used to be at KW's at Compass now. And he was my like kind of in-town guy, if you will, or like kind of Decatur side. And like he'd help me with some investment stuff down there. And we'd talk pretty frequently and we'd, share notes and all this kind of stuff. And, my brother-in-law took me to dinner to tell me that he was going to use a different agent. And I said, he's like, our policy, we don't work with family. I said, whatever, fine. Can I recommend somebody to you? You need to work with this guy. Okay. Can I connect the two of you? If you're not going to work with me, this is the second best agent in the universe. Can you work with him? Okay. And they ultimately worked with him. I got a check for a few $1,000s. It was all good. And now Lee loves me and I love him. Right. And he takes listings and I take listings and I call him and say, hey, nice listing in Decatur, man. I got somebody who's interested. What do I need to put on the contract to win? He says, Bill, great to see you. Just put 355 and you're a winner. Say, see it closing, buddy. Right. Life is just easier when you have more relationship with people in the community. See what I'm saying?
And yeah. And then alternatively, she said, well, find me a buyer. So,
Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate the call. But I'm not giving you any extra effort. I'm not like, I'll get paid if I happen to find a buyer that wants your house, but I'm only going to help the buyer buy your house if that's their favorite home in the entire universe. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'll keep it in mind, but I'm not like going to spend 3 days looking for a buyer for her. I wasn't hired to do that.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not being hired by an active buyer who has signed an active buyer agency agreement, or I'm not been hired by an active seller to help market their place, I'm being hired to go find the next buyer and the next seller, not to help somebody who didn't hire me find a buyer. You already hired somebody for that job. Okay. Like I helped a buyer buy, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 years ago. And I did a lousy job of keeping in touch with them, quite honestly. I didn't deserve the listing and I didn't get it. Okay. And he called me. He says, hey, we're moving to Massachusetts and we've listed our home and just wanted to make sure you knew about it if you had any buyers. And that was that. Like he did what he should have done, which was let me know about it. I did what I should have done, which is said thank you. And that was it. And I haven't thought about it since, except for right now. Right. All right, guys. Was this helpful?
Yes, thank you.
All right, beautiful. Remember, we gotta have a spirit of abundance, right? If we go through life, trying to take every deal that we can get and, not being friendly and not looking out for their best interest, it's very, very obvious. And you will notice that your sphere and your support structure and your clientele will deteriorate bit by bit by bit. You will also notice that if you are continuing to build up your network of people from other agents to other brokerages to colleagues to clients to friends and family, all this stuff. What's up, Andrew Brooks? Then you will notice that life becomes a lot easier, right? And you have more people that are looking out for your success. And I am proud to be Abundance. Have a great day. I'm proud to be in business with all you guys. Don't forget the team meeting today at 11. And don't forget our disc class tomorrow at 1. Y'all have a great day.
You too. Thank you.